Mass Effect 3 was far from perfect, and while it's still easily my favorite game of all time, and I'll die on the hill that it's amazing, to call it perfect would be an insult to so many games that have come so much closer to perfection. However, there are moments of the game that will resonate with a generation for the rest of their lives. Moments like Morden's sacrifice to cure the genophage, a moment of trust ending a lifetime of war between the Quarians and the Geth, quotes from some of our favorite characters.
Stand in the ashes of 1,000,000,000,000 dead souls and ask the ghosts if honor matters. This silence is your answer.
And if you're like me, the battle on Earth highlighting why the difficulty is called insanity. BioWare loved Mass Effect, so much more than they were ever allowed to show us in the time crunch forced on them by EA. They didn't get to deliver us their completed vision as the story came to an end, but when the smoke cleared, they were at least able to say goodbye in the best way possible. If you look up the term fan service in the dictionary, it will come up with See Mass Effect 3 Citadel DLC. If you ever found yourself wondering how my channel got started, it was from Mass Effect and specifically from this DLC. I described it as a love letter to the fans, and it inspired me to write one back in the form of my first 3 videos on Mass Effect. But while I gave it its due time in Mass Effect 3, I never sat down and made a dedicated video for it, and that's what I want to finally do now. This is my Christmas present to myself. Don't expect anything here but a rose-tinted look at one of my favorite things ever made. So you've never played Mass Effect and you come across this video. Why should you care? Honestly, I have no idea, but we're all about good vibes today, and so come and have a good time with us. This was effectively the last piece of content released in the Mass Effect series, and for so many fans, it's the best way to end the game. I always save it for the end myself, but in game's terms, it's placed right after the attack on the Citadel. Just putting it out there, if you've never played this before, you should wait until after Sanctuary if you actually want to have your full crew available. Anyways, I digress. The plot is pretty simple. For once, you and your team are getting a much-needed break as the Normandy docks for maintenance. Admiral Anderson gives you this dope-ass apartment, and upon meeting Joker for dinner, you're promptly pulled into one of the funniest plots I've ever experienced in a game. Paragon purists, just take the day off, because the renegade answers here are just way too good to be missed. Seriously, from the moment you see Brooks, just let it fly. As much as I would like to just play every minute of every conversation from the entire playthrough on here, this isn't a Let's Play channel, so if anyone's interested, drop a comment below and I'll find some time to stream the whole thing for you. That being said, this just becomes the worst lunch date ever as a bunch of dudes walk in to start shooting the place up. You'll use Joker as bait.
You used me as bait?
Take out all the goons with easily my favorite pistol in the game before promptly falling through the fish tank that for whatever reason, seemingly everyone in your crew takes personally.
Someday, when I've proven my worth to the galaxy, I'll go there for dinner. And then, you broke their floor.
Do they even have food you can eat there?
Not the point, Shepard.
Civilian casualties seem to have been restricted to fish.
Oh, they shut down my favorite sushi place.
That's a shame.
Shepard, you didn't.
I did. Fell right through the fish tank.
How did you manage that?
It exploded.
You'll make contact with your crew as you fight your way to them along some seriously tricky combat situations and fantastic reading material with such intel as please stop licking the fruit. When you catch up with either your love interest or, lacking the option, one of your crewmates, you'll continue to fight mercs while terrorizing a small business owner and get bailed out of an ambush by an old friend. This being the only time you get to fight alongside Rex outside of the first game, and the first time you can fight alongside a Krogan with the upgraded mechanics in Mass Effect 3, are worth the price of the DLC alone, but of course it gets even better. Back at your super secret base with your whole crew assembled, you chat with your friends while Liara works on figuring out who the hell is trying to kill you this week, and it takes all of her skill and cunning as the Shadow Broker to do so.
That phone call was pretty damning stuff. How'd you get it?
It involved the weapons biometric data, Solarian intelligence, and a Hanar prostitute with camera implants.
Once she's explained her lead as an arms broker and casino owner with a party you can infiltrate, you'll pick a teammate to help you run interference for Brooks as she crawls through the vents and gets the door to Khan's office open. There's seriously no wrong answer here as far as who to pick. Everyone is hilarious, and it's obviously a mission meant to be replayed over and over again. All the random conversations you can have to blend in around the party are just phenomenal. And as much as I love reuniting with the consort Shiala, having some witty talk with Tori and Robin Hood, or chatting it up with a local politician, nothing beats what could be the smartest person to ever exist, often affectionately referred to as Zivin by the community.
I love roulette. Every minute is more exciting than the next.
Should I point out the flaw in that statement?
Oh, are you like one of those detail people? Come on, even diamonds have flaws, but that doesn't make them less valuable.
Miss, where exactly were you educated?
Oh, online. You can take these courses, and it teaches you responsibility because you do the grading. Can't stay away, can you?
What can I say? I'm a masochist.
Oh, no kidding! I'm a Scorpio! We'll get along great.
Anyways, once you've had enough fun fart knocking around, you'll get the chance to open the last doors and confront your friendly neighborhood arms dealer and have a chat with... Okay, backup plan. Let's do some nerdy shit and... Oh, hold on. I'm getting a call. You'll talk some shit with the dial-up connection, grab what you can from the computer, and head back to our place. Edie will work on recovering the homework folder from Khan's drive, and Caden will consider telling you an interesting story for the first time in his life.
Did I ever tell you about my casino run-in with the Vorcha Mafia? 5,000 credits and a bottle of whiskey? Actually, never mind.
Oh, and James orders a pizza. You'll actually decide to take your whole crew for the first time, but naturally only 2 will actually come with you, and I promise you want to take Rex as one of your options, as it's awesome to have on your side. You won't be inside long before meeting our antagonist, and he's... just watch.
I'm Commander Shepard. I never hide.
Uh-huh. So that's how it's gonna be.
Well said, Rex. Oh yeah, so this has got a little weird, huh? The fight immediately after this, and really the whole way through the Citadel archives, is just a joy to play through. There's well-crafted arenas that play really well even on Insanity, and you get a reminder of just who your crew are as the mercs will cry out in astonishment at all the famous people shooting at them, giving you a hint at what it's like to be going up against the Normandy crew at the height of their power. When you get far enough into the base, you'll even get to watch notable events in the Mass Effect timeline, like the start of the First Contact War or Krogan rebellions, the spreading of the Genophage, and even Shepard becoming the first human Spectre. Naturally, you'll run headfirst into a trap as it turns out that, naturally, Brooks is working with the fake Shep and has managed to capture not only you, but your whole crew in these vaults to be sealed away forever as they steal the Normandy to take off to parts unknown. You also get one of my favorite exchanges in the whole game. I'm sure almost every series veteran fell out of their chair laughing, just like I did when I first heard it.
I should go.
Farewell, Commander. I guess this is where legends go to die.
Refresh my memory. Didn't we used to win these things back in the old days?
He said, I should go. Do I sound like that?
As long as I've known you, yeah.
Crazy thought, but maybe we should be worrying about this impregnable vault we've been sealed inside forever.
I'm more confident than he is, more in control. With me, it's more like, that's all for now.
Spoken like a Krogan. Show him who's boss.
Probably not a lot of air in here either. An hour, if we're lucky.
Or sometimes, I'll talk to you later. Because you know what? I never do. Leave him wanting more.
Shepard, please, why aren't you more worried about this?
Oh, Glyph, you still out there?
Yes, Commander.
Unlock this damn thing and go find the others. No one steals my ship. Not even me.
You'll gather the crew up from the vaults and pick up your team to go retake the ship. And if you haven't taken her at least once, you have to take Edie with you because it's just too good to miss. Fight your way onto the Normandy and get inside using Trainer's 6,000 credit toothbrush/secret hatch key. Once inside, fight your way through the bridge. Once the enemies are cleared out, you'll find an even deeper reason to fight. Beyond your identity. Beyond your ship, your crew, or the very fate of the universe. Try to control your anger when you find out that he... Just watch.
Please send this to an animal shelter for proper disposal, as a warship is not an appropriate... Oh, that is not okay. You messed with my hamster, guys. Now it's personal.
You're goddamn right it's personal. Let's kill this motherfucker for my hamster! As creepy as it is, this is easily the best fight in the game, and it really does a fantastic job at mimicking Shepard, using your own class powers against you for the most part. Attacking you with his Omni Blade in close quarters and even slapping on Metagel every time you do too much damage to him like he is the main character. Once you do whittle him down enough though, you'll get a cutscene where thanks to your crew you'll end up on top with the decision of what to do with him. At this point, he's essentially an unarmed prisoner and the Geneva Convention would specifically prohibit doing anything but arresting him. Unfortunately, he fucked with my hamster, so we're gonna do some war crimes today instead.
You, get off my ship.
Just for fun, shoot that other bitch too. Why? 'Cause fuck him, that's why. Back to reality. That's the end of the story, but not the end of the Citadel. Joker talks Shepard into throwing a party, and you can spend individual time with each of your teammates outside of that, not to mention the Armax Arena, which is where we'll start. The Armax Arsenal Arena is essentially just a combat simulator. Think Pinnacle Station, but without it being hot ass. For how limited of a platform it is, they actually did a fantastic job making it fun, giving you a chance to play with all those teammates that weren't alongside you during the campaign, along with challenges from fans giving you new and interesting things to do. On top of that, once you break the scoreboard, you'll get a special challenge to help break the whole simulator in a bug-finding attempt, which will put you through the ringer as far as combat challenges go. After you beat it, you'll also be able to unlock it as a replayable challenge. Toss in Mirror Match, which is easily the toughest challenge in the game, and you've got the recipe for endless replayability. You can also get a super neat set of armor as a reward. The combat sim isn't the only thing you'll have to do though, as you'll have the entire Silversun strip to explore and experience with a full-fledged casino and bar, an arcade with some virtual rock'em sock'em robots, a claw game, and tons of NPCs living out their lives. If you take the time to stop and listen to some of these stories, they can be a real treat. From war stories to quiet gearheads appreciating a work of art, to the merits of detonating tech armor, it's all just wonderful ambience. And on top of all the enjoyable extra you get as you walk through the Silversun Strip, you'll also get the opportunity to see most of your living teammates out and about, and you'll be given the opportunity to spend some time with them. The nature of the interaction will change should you be in a relationship with said person, but for the most part you'll find people doing things that just make you smile. There's tons of favorites, and I'm going to struggle to narrow them down, but I'll do my best. But honestly guys, I love every single interaction, so let's slam through the longest honorable mention list of all time. We have Zaid conquering the claw machine, Kasumi's casino heist, Joker's retelling of history, Jack's idea of the best date ever, and Rex literally having too much excitement in his life. With the runners-up out of the way, let's look at my 3 favorites. First up, we have Trainer taking on T'Souza.
T'Souza. Trainer, would you like to just give me your frigates now? I always take them sooner or later.
Polgara T'Souza. She's knocked me out of 4 tournaments.
Specialist?
Commander?
Kick her ass.
Roger that. I'm sorry, T'Souza. This might sting a bit. Ah!
With that bitch dealt with, we can move on to Grunt having his birthday party and getting arrested.
Right. Tell me about the windows.
A couple of squad mates broke me out for my birthday, tried lowering me down the side of the building on a rope. It didn't work out. Come on, Shepard, keep up.
Right. Sorry. So how did they catch you?
Got hungry, bought some noodles.
Let me handle this. Officer, this Krogan is part of a secret Spectre task force. Operation Fire Cobra Claw.
Operation Fire Cobra Claw?
That's right. I can take it from here. Send me the bill for any damages.
That's what you've been signing for, Commander. You're lucky, Krogan. Don't let me catch you up here again.
And to wrap us up, we have When Javik Goes Hollywood.
In my cycle, your kind were nothing more than appetizers. Would you prefer to be boiled or fried?
Prothean don't like you.
This one has found his motivation. Very well. Commander Shepard and Prothean partner of undetermined ethnic origin. Welcome to the Spectre Club.
You know what, Blasto? I think you're just a big, stupid jellyfish. How did you become a Spectre?
I am not just a Spectre. I am an Ultra Spectre Elite 7000 Deluxe, now with less recoil and faster load time.
Where is the airlock so I may throw you out of it?
We don't have a prop for that. Cue the sound effects. Change the backdrop.
This one is the hero of the Citadel. I'll handle it.
This one insists.
This one doesn't care.
This one wishes he was still frozen in the refrigerator. May we go now, Commander?
Every character is so well developed at this point, it's kind of refreshing to learn there's still some side of them that you haven't yet seen, and I just can't get enough of how much fun they had with it. While hanging out on the strip is amazing, silly fun, you'll also have some one-on-one time with most of your team inside your apartment as they'll come over to see you. Most of these moments are a bit slower and more serious, but manage to make you happy, if in a bit of a different way. Again, there's honorable mention here in Tally's favorite movie, people watching with Samara, and shopping with Edie. But there's a couple that hit me like a truck every time. To start off with will be the lighter option of the foreign James, and while him showing off his new tattoo is a surprisingly strong moment for Mr. Vega, what he does after is actually what makes his appearance memorable as he checks out your home gym on the way out. You're given the chance to get a quick pump in alongside him, and he'll challenge you to beat his personal pull-up record of 182, and while this is the stupidest waste of time I've ever participated in my life, I will, without fail, every single time, click right mouse and left mouse 183 individual times, because it's like required by Mass Effect law or something. There's something about this entirely pointless 15 minutes that I absolutely adore. The next two I have for you are actually dependent on choices you made before you got here. The first being who you chose to romance on this playthrough, as it will determine whose special scene you get here, and while they're all special, let's just talk about my girl Jack over here, whose confidence and experience mix perfectly with the vulnerability she allows herself in this moment, making it so incredibly fitting and emotional, even if it's only a few minutes.
Good enough for an ID?
Good enough, so that if you're ever hurt, barely breathing, lying under a pile of rubble at the ass end of this war...
Hey. You worry too much.
Up next, we have a scene only available if you have the Spacer background, as it's the only one where you're in contact with your mother. If you've never played a Spacer background, then this one's for you.
Hannah Shepard here.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, honey. Oh, it's so good to hear your voice.
This is a surprise. It's been a long time.
It has. I just felt I needed to... I think about you every day. I try not to worry. The other day, I was remembering the bedtime stories we used to make up. You had your own ship and crew. The stories were always filled with adventure and danger.
Oh, yeah. Haven't thought about that in a while.
Me neither. Oh, you'd always swoop in to punish the bad guys to save the day. So, there you are. Even when you were little, you dreamed of the life you have.
Is that the reason you wanted me to call?
No. I just want you to know that I am proud of you, son. So proud.
Thanks, Mom.
I have to go.
I know.
Be safe. Please. Goodbye, sweetheart.
Last but not least is a memorial service for Thane, in which you and those who knew him, along with his son Kolyat, will gather around to say goodbye to the gentle assassin in this scene.
When I was little, I thought my father had it all figured out. He said men must be loyal to their friends and dangerous to their enemies. But when he prevented me from hurting someone, he had changed. He said enemies and ego are not as important as loved ones. I didn't want to hear it. I was lost. I called him a hypocrite in 1,000 different ways. Said that he was going soft. Now, I think maybe he did have it all figured out. That's all I can say. If anyone would like to continue, we'll be here.
After everyone departs, you'll find a little gift in the form of messages he left for you while you were locked up in prison. It's not perfect, but getting to hear your friends say goodbye is really nice.
Kolyat has convinced me to stay at Huerta Memorial on the Citadel. I will be there from now on. I still don't want to die in a hospital, but it's where the doctors are. and Kolyat. I love him. That means I must trust him. Goodbye, Shepard. Let me say that now, in case I cannot later.
This leaves us with only one more thing to talk about as we bring the mood back up, and that's the party. This is the only time we'll get every surviving squad mate in the Mass Effect trilogy in the same room together, and it's your chance to say goodbye. The reason that so many of us save this as the last thing you do in the game is that it's simply the best ending you could ever have. It's a chance so many of us in real life will never get a chance to do, to see all your favorite people all at once before the good times are over, before you have to accept that it's the end. And it'll start slow as everyone migrates to the groups they know, with some of the newer characters feeling a bit out of place amongst old friends. But when you've exhausted all possible conversations, you're given the option to up the tempo, and I recommend that you do. Once you turn the music up a bit and everyone has gotten a few drinks in them, the fun really gets a chance to begin, with Grunt deciding if you can come inside, Zaid opening up his sensitive side while making a pass at Samara that came out of absolutely nowhere, Miranda and Jack finally finding some common ground and a bit of friendly shit talk that I know all too well from all the locker rooms I've been in, the boys having an argument about being able to defend yourself and then are promptly beaten down by the paper bone pilot they were just making fun of, James, for whatever reason, tries to argue that his lats make him more of a threat than the ability to control dark matter with your mind, which is just an amazing argument to try and get by some of the most powerful biotics of all time that all happen to be in the room. You'll also find Kasumi having herself a grand old time in the various spots around the apartment if you look hard enough after each switch, but the best conversation at this point has to be Tally, Trainer, and Edie having a little chat around the charcuterie board.
What's wrong, you two?
I am asking Specialist Trainer about why she found my voice sexually attractive.
Oh, good lord.
Wait, this is dextro cheese, right? Kira, did I forget to scan the cheese? This is why I don't drink.
Fair's fair, Trainer. Edie has a right to ask about what you said.
I was very interested in Trainer's ability to develop sexual feelings for what was, at the time, a bodiless voice.
You are all terrible. Edie, I apologize for saying that I wanted to roll naked with your voice in satin sheets.
Oh, I was not offended. In fact, it was flattering.
Even the part where I wanted to grab your voice by the hair and nibble my way down its back.
I do not, in fact, remember you saying that, Samantha.
Oh, that wasn't out loud. Never mind.
Don't mind me, I'm just going to run a toxin treatment program, so I don't die. I'm just going to sit here quietly and hope someone changes the subject.
Awkward?
Awkward.
Pump the music up again, you can get some people up and moving. For the more hardcore among this crowd, this will mean some indoor target practice. Not something I really approve of, especially in my apartment, but I'm not telling a drunk Krogan with a gun no, so there's that. I guess they're shooting. It takes a little bit of convincing, but you can get Joker out on the dance floor with Edie in a sweet little shin-snapping moment. Then jog on upstairs to watch James go for a ride before showing off the moves that won our hearts. I've been looking at this for hours. If you look in your shower, you'll see what happens when Grunt has a little too much to drink. And you can even get Shepard on the dance floor for a minute if you ask nicely.
Captain on deck!
Has he always been like this?
Shepard is saving the galaxy. You have to forgive a few eccentricities.
It's very enthusiastic.
It is impressive.
We should record this and broadcast it for the Reapers. They'll either run away, melt down, or fall in love.
Good to see some things don't change.
Well, I like it, Commander. It's good to see you cut loose now and then.
Thank you all for your loyalty and support.
You'll finally wrap up the party when you invite everyone on the couch to take a photo together. It's likely everyone's will look a little bit different, but here's mine. With that, you're off to bed and will wake up alongside your partner as you wander off to assess the damage from the night before. Some people are taking it better than others, with James making eggs and Jack getting a pump in, Trainer making sure she didn't actually end up on the hub, and Javik having an existential crisis.
It was horrible. I was alone. Primitives had evolved. They ruled the galaxy. Solarians, Turians, the Asari.
The absolute best thing, though, is the little present that BioWare decided to leave for you by your bed in the form of stories from Morden. It's too much to play it all for you here, but I'll share a bit.
In prophase, you see chromatins condensed to chromosomes. In metaphase, their centromeres align to make new homes. In anaphase, they separate, then telophase arrives, and when cytokinesis comes, two cells lead separate lives.
The very end will go on as one of my favorite tracks from Sam Hulick in the entire series will play as you and your crew head back to work.
Break time's over, huh?
At least we threw one hell of a party. Probably the last one.
Knock that shit off. You're gonna blow the Reapers to hell. And then you're coming back and taking me out dancing. You know, for all the shit we've been through, we've had a damn good ride.
The best.
For the Normandy crew, this was just their last reprieve before they had to pull on their boots and go save the galaxy. But for BioWare and all their fans around the world, this was a well-deserved goodbye. We all wish Mass Effect 3 could have been so much more, but at the end of the day, I'm still so happy with what we did end up getting, even if it wasn't everything on the Christmas list. I played Andromeda, so I know how much worse it could have been, and I'm so grateful that my last experience with this universe was a happy one. There's something to be said for having a sad ending that still leaves a smile on players' face, and that's what this did here against all odds. I love the Citadel DLC. I think that it's the single greatest piece of fan service ever created, and it just makes me so happy that I get to sit here and talk about it. I really wish I could say more, but that's really it. I love this, and I wanted to share it with everyone who doesn't know about it, as well as just sit here and enjoy it for a few minutes with everyone else who sees it as another happy memory. I've been thinking it's about time for another Mass Effect 3 playthrough. I may stream it, I may not. If the whole game or just Citadel is something you'd like to see me stream, then please leave me a comment down below about what times are best for you guys. If I can work around people who want to watch, I will. That being said, that's going to wrap it up for me here, guys. I hope you all had a very, very Merry Christmas, and I'd like to wish you a Happy New Year. I'll be watching Bellator vs. Ryzen. What are you going to be doing? 2022 has been amazing on this channel, and I'm excited to see where 2023 takes us. Until next time, this is Purple signing off. Have a wonderful night, and always remember to smile. Thanks, guys.